Hello and welcome to our art video. My name is Anne Kinahan. I'm one half of DrinK in a hand. Here's my drink. And Pete is the other half. He does the tech. So today we're going to follow on from our carrot, making our carrot figures, which we did before, like this. And then we did them in black and then added touches of colour. To put them on a bit of a landscape like this, a very rudimentary landscape, to make a bit more of a painting out of them. So I've got a piece of watercolour paper here. It could equally be lining paper, it doesn't have to be watercolour paper. I've gessoed over it because once you put gesso over your paper, it makes it easier for the paint to go over it. And then I've put a layer of orange so that we've got something to start with, and also if the paint that I use now doesn't completely cover it, the orange can show through. I'm hoping it'll make an interesting effect. I've got a thing of water, I've got a flat brush here, and then a round brush with a pointed end, which is what the flat brush will be for the larger areas of colour, and the round brush with the pointed end will be to make the carrot people, as we did in our last exercise. Just in case I need them, I probably won't. There's a small flat brush as well, and a tiny brush in case I want to just change a little bit of a line or something that I've done. In terms of colours, I think for this you can choose the colours that you like. I think white and black are going to be useful, and I've still got some more orange. But apart from that, I've chosen a light blue and then a dark Prussian blue and a bright green. I've chosen a purple, so those are my cool colours. And for more warm colours, I've chosen Pyrrole red and a warm yellow, cool yellow, and a very bright pink. Now, let's see. So I'm going to start by putting in some of the background that we can then put our carrot figures on. So I'm going to use the flat brush for this, and maybe put some kind of pale blue, just a pale blue, with a tiny bit of white. As soon as I mix white with it, it becomes more opaque, and put this over the orange in the sky area. It's not so opaque that the orange isn't showing through, and that's completely fine. In our finished painting, this will be the sky, so it might be a bit paler towards the bottom, but we'll put other colours over it as we go on. And I'm going to put a very pale colour on the bottom, because I want the carrot figures to show up. So I don't want the background to fight with them really. So let's put some yellow, again mix maybe some white with it. I've got the orange showing through, so it makes it's making the yellow look a bit like a sandy colour. I'm blurring where they meet, so that makes a kind of green where I've gone over the blue. There. So you can still see some of the orange through, and that's completely fine. Now I'm going to need this to dry before I can do the next bit and put the carrot figures on top. Right, so now I've got my piece of paper. It's nicely dried. Dried it in front of the wood burner, which is right next to me, but a hairdryer would do equally well. I think the important thing with the background is that it's nice and light so that the figures show up against it. Now we're going to take our brush that we used for our carrot figures before, our one with the pointed end and the round, and I'm going to do the figures in black. So I'm going to do maybe a group of 3 or 4 on one side and 1 or 2 on the other side. So we're going to go with this small head. Remember, the small head, then you push down. We don't worry too much about what we're going to get. We know it's going to look like a figure whatever we do. That's 1. And maybe the person next to him is so small head, maybe the person next to him is a woman, and maybe she could be bending down. And then maybe we could have a child here. Still the same principle, small head. And I think I will actually add another figure to this group. Maybe again someone here. Let me just see whether this is going to be another child or someone else just talking to this person. And then maybe one person over here on their own. I think I've made the head too big here. This person in more of a coat. Put some shadows in. I'll just put the shadows in this way, I think, this time. To anchor them. So there we go. We've got our carrot people in. Now we need to add some colour to them. Get that brush a bit cleaner. So let's start with some red for, this is going to be the woman of some sort, so she's going to have a red sweater maybe, and maybe a red bobble hat, so put that on as well. Maybe the child has some red trousers, I think. Yeah. Now, again, the child's all going to be colourful things, so let's put some, maybe a blue top for him. And or if this is a skirt here, maybe that's going to be blue as well. And then I think, what about some of this green? So who would, oh, she might be wearing green. Maybe purple for him. Purple for her as well. But you can choose whichever colours you like. You can see straight away that the green is tending to be the focal point here. Okay then, so now to make this into more of a landscape, we're going to put just some lines. I will probably just go on using this. I'm going to put in a kind of, here, just do this behind behind these figures. So a horizontal line, might be a far shore or there, and maybe have it disappearing into the distance here, and maybe a bit more of a mid blue line now this way. So I use some of my dark blue with the very light blue. Yeah, there we go. Try some of this, blend it in. Just make it a bit wet at the edges so it doesn't look like such a harsh line. Get a bit of red into the corner here to make it a bit more interesting. Now let's see what we can do about the add a bit more colour onto the sky. I'm going to add a bit of lilac, so very pale. Add white into the purple. Add some light blue. Oh yeah, that's right. Just add some of that in. There. Put some of this over the top now. I might use my flat brush now for this. Here we go. Put some of it down here, very wet and watery. Now, do you remember that what we said was that if you want a figure to look as if it's moving away from you, you would probably join the head a bit more to the thing. So I might just do a little bit of just joining it up a little bit more. What we could do as well is we could add in some arms, couldn't we? So I could just use this brush with the point on it and give the woman maybe an arm, just reaching down to the child. Let's see what she's doing here. Maybe this one as well. Maybe this woman could be, or maybe she could be, what could she be doing? She's reaching down to him as well. Maybe they're all showing him what's going on. Maybe someone could be pointing at what they're looking at. I think that's all right. Let's just put a bit more red in that. And I think that's it. So there we have our figures on the beach. Oh, hi again. And one other thing I wanted to show you before we finish this video about this painting was that once we have our painting, you can mount it, and a very easy way of doing that is I've used a cradled board, but it could be just an ordinary board. Put some black paint on, and then what I would do is just stick it down on this. I would also sign the painting in the bottom left hand corner and stick it on this. I think you could use PVA glue, but I would normally use gel medium, and then I would use that same gel medium, a gloss medium, to varnish over the whole thing, so that you can simply just go home and just hang the picture on the wall. I hope that makes sense, and I hope you have lots of fun with your carrot people. Thank you.